Hello and welcome or welcome back to the What is K-pop podcast, where in which I talk all things K-pop groups, members, discographies, outfits, weird shit, stuff that I want to talk about, and a bit about my life and my opinions, whether it be controversial. And also just randomly, I really want to say I got a comment on Spotify. I've not gotten a comment yet. I hadn't gotten a comment up until that point, and I was really proud of myself. And I thought to myself, like, oh, I'll just check to see another, like, K-pop-ish podcast called The Korean Cowboys, which is by Joel from BTL. I keep on thinking it's BLT, but it's not. And Aaron from Newest, and they haven't actually gotten, I don't think, any comments on their podcast on Spotify, but they get a lot on YouTube. So I don't know why enough I don't get any YouTube comments. It could just be the fact that, like, no one wants to comment, which is fair enough. I understand. I am a horrible host. I completely forget oftentimes what it is that I'm talking about. I often go off topic and I talk about my life just that little bit too much. So I do understand as to why people don't really ever want to comment on here. But, like, if you want to, you can do. Is always going to be greatly appreciated. Unless it's like an insult to me, then I'm probably going to not really like that. But if you feel like you want to, then you can comment an insult. It's not actually gonna offend me that much. I do understand. Okay, so what is it I'm talking about today? I'm talking about ONEUS, combination of ONEUS and ONEWE. I'm just gonna be like, I am gonna talk about each group individually as I'm going through, but it's just easier to do them both at the same time just because of the connection they have together, with the fact that two of the members are actually twin brothers. We love that. So ONEUS, as like a thing, was actually a project group under RBW, which is their company, and it had all 10 members of both 11, because ONEUS had 6 and ONEWE has 5. What am I chatting? Absolute shit. But yeah, no, it had all of the members. Younghoon, this is just like their names on here. So obviously Raven is in there, but I don't remember his name off the top of my head right now, so we're just going to say the names of him. Younghoon, Seoho, Lido, Harin, Kyunhee, Hwangwoon, Kanhyun, which I think might be Raven, Dongmyeon, Zeon, and Kayam. Obviously, I do know that things have changed since they debuted, but yeah, sometimes we do have to kind of go by what we know. So ONEWE was actually, I find this very interesting, called a few different things and has been around for a very long time. So it has Younghoon, Harin, Kanghyun. Oh, it isn't Kanghyun. So it must have just been taken out. Dongmyeon and Gyeok, originally known as MAS 0094 and debuted under Modern Music in August of 2015. And they had been sort of making music together for a bit of time before that. So they realistically could have been a group, like a band, for well over 10 years. And they moved to RBW in June of 2017 under the name MAS, and then the members re-debuted as ONEWE under RBW on the 13th of May 2019 as like a sibling group kind of to ONEUS, which has Seoho, Lido, Kyunhee, Hwangwoon, and Zeon, formerly Raven, as well, and they debuted on the 9th of January 2019 with the first mini album Light Us. So, like, obviously ONEWE has been together for longer, but they haven't been like debuted as ONEWE for like as long as ONEUS has been a group. Now I can only imagine, this is like my thought process on this. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Quite honestly, I cannot be asked to do research because my brain starts to hurt after a few like sentences and I'm like, just like do a TLDL. That like obviously ONEWE came together as MAS 0094, obviously like potentially in like 2014, and we know that Dongju Zeon was helping out at the busking events, and then they got picked up obviously by Modern Music, and then they were like, we want to support you as like an actual group, obviously debuting in August 2015. I've never heard of Modern Music, so I can only imagine that they ceased operations and RBW bought them for X amount of money and then re-debuted them under MAS under a different trademark, because obviously the trademark would still be active, I guess, from Modern Music, and their new name is MAS. And then obviously ONEUS started to be in development. They knew that Dongju was related to Dongmyeon, so were like, actually, if it's all right with you lot, we change your name again to whatever, and like we have you two being like you two groups being kind of brother groups together, like kind of in connection but not too much, just so that it's like you two have, like, I say you two, I mean the two groups, you two have separate careers, but like you are kind of in a way connected just because of the fact that there are the two twins in the group. That's what I imagine. I don't know, because obviously I'm not them, so yeah, I don't know. I'm also anxious and I have absolutely no idea why, because like all is good in the hood. So yeah, we're gonna push down our feelings. So ONEWE's official fandom name is Weavy. She is very cool. And ONEUS's fandom is To Moon. To be fair, I kind of prefer Weavy because it's like, it sounds cool. Like it sounds really cool and I like it. Yeah. Doesn't take much to excite me, does it? Clearly not. I'm like smiling and I'm all happy and like, yeah. So anyway, moving swiftly on. Young-hoon, Jin Young-hoon, he was born on the 17th of August 1994, making him a Leo, and he is a member of ONEWE. I know that. Come on, Mr. Lodi. You know, I'm gonna have to quickly say this. I have been struggling with my laptop recently. Well, to be fair, it's always been a struggle with this laptop because it is so powerful. It often gets quite slow and it takes a while to update because of the fact that like my dad's old co-workers spec this up to the nines. It doesn't exactly run as smoothly as it could do sometimes, so I'm often at the mercy of the wheel of death of updates, and it gets kind of old at some points, and I have been tempted to throw my laptop through the window, but I don't think my dad would appreciate that. So yeah, we got the information up now. Jung-hoon is the leader, main vocalist, guitarist, person who plays the guitar, and keyboardist. That doesn't feel like a real word at all. And he was born in Ulsan, South Korea, and he's a former Cube Entertainment trainee, and he enlisted as an active duty soldier into the military on the 12th of July 2022 and discharged earlier in this year on the 11th of January 2020. Checking again, the next member, first ONEUS member. So we have, if I can do it, Seoho. Birth name is Lee Gun-min, but legally changed to Lee Seoho, and he's the main vocalist, born on the 7th of June 1996. And he's from Daejeon in South Korea, and he was supposed to have the stage name Zeon, and Dongju was meant to have the stage name Seoho, but I guess it just sort of kind of worked out that way. But then he ended up changing his name to Seoho, which, you know, you do you, boo, you do you. And also there's like, he has his own profile page, but I've got too many tabs open, so we're not gonna chance it because we're having a good time with the laptop. It is not messing me around too much. Next one we have is Lido. Are you in? Yes, you are. Good. Kim Gun-hak. He is the main rapper and so vocalist, born on the 26th of July 1997, making him a Leo. And he was born in Jangamdong in Gyeongbu in Gyeonggi, South Korea. That was hard for me to say. And he has a younger brother, born in 2000. Gun-hee. So it's like the family portion of the name is Gun. So like in 80s, Yeonho, his brother is called Gun-ho, so it's the ho bit of the name that's like carried over through each of the thing. we don't really do that I don't think there's much in the way of like family pride through like surnames as opposed to like middle names, or like sometimes we'll have like, well, this is just an example, but in Riverdale, which was a TV show that's on Netflix, and the whatever fucking thing it was, Jughead, one of the characters, he's called Forsyth Pendleton Jones the third. His dad's obviously Forsyth Pendleton Jones Jr. the second, and his granddad was the first one. So a lot of parents, not so much nowadays, but they used to have like names that like run in the families, and like in my family, my middle name is my mum's grandmother's name, and my sister's middle name is my grandmother on my dad's side. So it's like kind of in that sense that we have family names traditions, but not really like parts of names. Or a really famous example is JonBenet Ramsey, because her dad is John Bennett Ramsey. Obviously just like smushed a little bit, like made to sound like a girl's name, and that's how we got that name. Yeah, that's just weird information about names for you. Alito was actually a YG Entertainment trainee. Next member, we have Harren. Drew Harren, he's a drummer born on the 29th of March 1998, making him an Aries, and he was born in Seoul. And apparently him and Kang Hyun were the first members to form the group, so I guess because obviously Vyuk was actually next door neighbours to the twins, Dongmyeon and Dongju, that he must have been like, hey, do you want to join my band? To like Dongmyeon, and he would have been like, yeah, sure, and his brother might have gone along. I don't know, presumptions, you know. And Harren knows how to beatbox. Interesting. And he is in charge of doing repairs around their dorm. Fascinating. It is interesting. I'm actually kind of in charge of that a little bit too, or in the sense of that I will just do it without being asked to do it. And I'm sure my dad's like ready to do it, and then I've done it for him, and he's like, yeah, this little shitty little kid. Next one we have is Kyunhee. Lee Kyunhee is her main vocalist, born on the 27th of June 1998, making him a Cancer. And he has two younger sisters, and one of them is called Hyunhee. So like I said, the continue syllable of their name is he. And he speaks English and Japanese as well as Korean, which is very, very cool. So trilingual. I had to think about the word just then. Next member we have is Hwang Woong for that. Hyo Hwang Woong, he's main dancer, so vocalist, and was born on the 26th of August 1998, making him a Virgo. We stan. He's 5 years older than me. Exactly 5 years older than me. And he's an only child and was a student at SOPA, so the School of Performing Arts Seoul. And he was a former Pledis Entertainment trainee and was a finalist in Pledis Hot debut back in 2013 and was a potential 17 member, and trained with Sungkwan and DK from 17 for a short period of time. Interesting information for you. And next one we have is Kang Hyun Kyu. He is the guitarist, born on the 24th of November 1998, making him a Sagittarius. Go back onto the website. I'm like flicking back and forth, so if you hear me not quite, like if my sentences don't seem to flow, I'm like having to flick back and forth between the websites, and yeah, that's why. And he was born in Hwaseong-si in Gyeonggi-do, South Korea, and he used to be the leader of the group. And he enlisted as an active duty soldier on the 2nd of August 2022 and was discharged on the 1st of February 2024. Okie dokie. Next member we have is Song Dongmyeon. He's the lead vocalist, keyboardist, and visual, born on the 10th of January 2000, making him a Capricorn, and he was born in Seoul. obviously has a twin brother, Zion, and he is the older twin by 1 minute. And we do have some more information about them too with Zion. Song Dong-ju, born on the same day. He's a sub-vocalist, visual, and maknae, and he was born in in Yongtong-dong in Yongtong-gu, Suwon, in Gyeonggi, South Korea. So like deep village, probably. I don't know. It's like when particularly for Nottingham, if you write letters, you actually have to write the town and then the city and then like Nottinghamshire and then the postcode and all that jazz. I don't know why you have to add the extra part, but I guess it's because of the fact that the whole area is so big. Having those specifics kind of helps with being able to make sure that like your shit's going to where it's meant to go. So yeah, the maknae of ONEWE, if I can do it. Thank you. Gyeok, formerly known as Siam Gyeok. He is the main rapper, bass guitarist, synthesizer, and puzzle. And the maknae, born on the 24th of January 2000, making him an Aquarius, and he was born in Suwon, South Korea. And Gyeok and Dongmyeon are best friends even before the band was formed. And I assume that like he is friends with Dongju, otherwise it would be kind of interesting. Well, I mean, granted, twins can have separate friends, but I don't know. I also was like thinking about it, and my sister's got loads of presents from her friends from uni, and I'm like, I'm related to all of my friends. Like, we have my parents and my sister and my aunties and my uncles and my cousins who I don't really talk to, but we're gonna call them friends. And I've got the people I go to the support group with, and they're not really friends, they're just people I go to the support group to. Couldn't get my sentence out because I was just reading the text from my mother. I've forgotten. Anyway, moving on, probably wasn't that important. Last but no means least, we have Raven Kim Young-ju. He was the main rapper, lead sub-vocalist, and producer. Born on the 2nd of September 1995, making him a Virgo, and he was born in Mokdong, Yongin, South Korea, and has an older sister. Used to be a child actor and a child model, and a former JYP Entertainment, YG Entertainment, Plan A Entertainment trainee. He was supposed to debut in Victon, but left the company. And unfortunately, on the 14th of October 2022, an anonymous individual claiming to be Raven's ex-girlfriend posted claims against him on Twitter. He went on hiatus, and then on the 27th of October 2022, Raven left the group due to the rumours against him, and supposedly he didn't want to cause issues. However, I'm going to be honest, I do always give it like a bit of a side eye to that sort of stuff. So I'm like, I doubt that they would really leave and waste all of that time that they put into it, but it could genuinely be that they didn't want to ruin things for the group. It's like with Wonho from Monster X, he was able to move to a different subsidiary of Starship, so it wasn't all lost, and obviously he is doing relatively well as a soloist. But I'm like, again, I don't believe it when it says like, oh, these people left through their own volition. I'm like, but did you really think to yourself, my group is doing badly, I should leave because I don't want them to have to suffer because of me? I'm like, shouldn't your group like band together and like support you and like make sure that you can still be with them? Because it seems like groups, obviously pre-debut, have a lot of camaraderie. Like, it isn't as in like a month before they get announced as like a debuting group that they get put all together. Like, it takes time, and it takes like months and months of like prep work and like making sure that everything looks all right and that people are in the right places and that like everything works out. I'm like, I don't believe the idea that like these kids just like, not kids, but like these people just leave their groups because they don't want to hurt anything. Like, it's like with Sunghan, I don't believe that he would just leave 2 days after being allowed back into the group. No, they worked together for a very long time. Because, I mean, like, even though it was told to us that... Be bad with names today, holy shit. Shohei, no. Shotaro, no. Yes, Shotaro. Shotaro. Words! What is wrong with me? I'm like mixing up Shohei, and Shotaro, 2 of which are debut idols, 2 of which are in the same group, and one of them is about to debut. Oh my god, this is really bad, isn't it? Sunghan. When I'm like, I'm sorry, but I really do not believe that he just decided to leave. That, like, he out of his own volition was like, yeah, I should leave. You know, I'm sorry, but I don't believe it, considering how long it took for them to get to where they are. Like, I don't believe it. And you can disagree with me however much you like. Please do, feel free to. I really don't give a damn. But I'm like, I don't believe it one singular bit. Because all of this takes time to make an album, to debut a group, to get them all to feel comfortable with each other, because they also have to live with each other. And when Shotaro and Sungchan left NCT to go into Rise, I can assure you, through no uncertain terms, that, like, they were in Rise and they knew they were in Rise for a very long time, and that, you know, they would have been preparing for this for a very long time, and it just came out at that time, in, I think it was March, and then they well, maybe it was May, sometime, and then they were told that, like, we are going to give out the press release that you are no longer a part of NCT and that you're going to be in this new group. And it would have been like, cool, carry on in doing stuff for Rise. I'm like, I don't see it. I think a lot of it is just that, like, they are told that you have now left. We are no longer supporting you. You have now left. And it is unfortunate. And it's the music industry, and it's a horrible kind of thing to, you know, be involved in. And it's like, we are kind of all involved in essence, because we kind of let these things manifest in horrid ways. There's like some things that there's some people that I do believe should not have ever had a platform to, but I don't believe that, like, Raven should have left when it was proven that, like, he didn't do anything, or Wonho to have left because he didn't do anything, or Garan to have left because she didn't do anything, or Sunghan to have left because he had a life. It's like, we put too much emphasis on people appearing to be perfect, and that, you know, they are operating as, like, they go to work, they do their job, they don't do anything afterwards. Like, I'm sorry, but it doesn't work like that. I can confirm that, like, I have a life beyond all of this, and I do things that some people might not think is the best, but I do them irregardless of what anyone thinks, because it's my life. And these people shouldn't have to answer to that and have their lives ruined. Obviously, there are some people that do not deserve to have their platforms, but it's like, it's trying to find that right balance, I feel, that I think that we haven't quite figured out yet, but it is coming. Potentially, like, things are improving. Also, throughout this entire thing, I've just been on the NCT, like, Wikipedia page, and things are hopefully more stable in NCT land. In Rise land, you know, we're treading on sand at the moment, and, you know, it could go at any time, but things seem to be settled. Like, I'm pleased. But yeah, I do hope that you enjoyed today's episode of talking about ONEWE and ONEUS combined. It probably was very chaotic, and I do apologise if you have absolutely no idea what on earth you've just been listening to for the past, like, half an hour. But I'd like to hope that, you know, you can take something away from all of this. But yeah, thank you as always for listening, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye!